I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, well, you came on my show, and I didn't really know you then. We didn't really know each other, and
Makes sense.
we had fun, and I got to talk to you about like all the good directors you worked with, and some really good good shit.
You feel like we got some clips out of it?
Well, you got a huge clip out of it when you were telling your story about Clooney and that whole thing, and that's like 500,000 clips on YouTube alone. So that's the biggest amount. I've been doing the podcast for a year. It'll be a year on Thursday, and it's the most hits that we've had so far. But,
Really?
Yeah.
That closer to you.
Do I have to swallow it, Jamie?
So wait, you were pull it down a little bit so people can see your face.
I opened my mouth that fucking.
So I appreciate you coming. We had to reschedule a couple times.
I did reschedule a couple times because I got back from New Mexico where I was doing a movie called Onslaught with a director named Adam Wingard, and I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I never. Wingard, could be Weingard, but I doubt it. But anyway, he's doing a movie called Onslaught, and he sent me the script last, November, I think it was. And when he was young, he had a Michael Biehn fan club, and he offered me a role in this movie, and I read it, and it reminded me a lot of the Terminator. Just
no
balls. Yeah, I mean it. Like,
no.
Yes. Very much like balls out. Bad. There's three of them, but bad guys, non-stoppable, keep coming, bloody as hell, action, horror, the whole thing. So it reminded me very much of the Terminator. I immediately. It's an A24 movie.
It's A24?
It's A24, yeah. And it's Adam. Adam directed a movie, I always forget the name of it, The Visitor, or this guy shows up at somebody's house. I think it's called The Visitor, but I'll check it before we get off. And he's been around for a long time, and he's done a bunch of independent stuff. But then for whatever reason, he directed King Kong versus Godzilla. That the first one was like 4 years ago. Not the first Godzilla movie, but the first one recently, and that one made $500 million. Right? So they turned around, and whoever he's making that movie for said, "Hey, could you make us another one?" And he had Millie Bobby Brown. He had some good people in it. And it's not the kind of movie that I would normally watch, but I started watching it. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is really, really pretty good for the kind of thing that it was. So it made so much money, they gave him another one to do. And that one made $500 million. So he's kind of got $1 billion franchise. They offered him a third one. I really do have to.
They offered him a third one, yeah.
Yeah. So they offered him a third one, and he's like, no. I want to go off and do my own thing. So this is the movie. It's called Onslaught, and this is the movie that I went to work with him, and I didn't know him very well. He had shot the entire movie except for the stuff that he was doing me, and with an actor named Dan Stevens, who's like really, really, really good, and was really fun to work with.
Thank God you said that.
Why?
Because you were like, hey, Dan, this guy, and you had like a face, like you were about to say, like he was, like it was a face, and then you went, he's good.
Well,
because I know
I find that with actors,
yeah,
it might be because of the vibe that I put out, but I very rarely in my career have I ever had a problem with anybody. Everybody's always, we all have the same goal. We're all working on the team, and and so I love Dan. Dan did a great job, and actually, there's a story that the movie. I went back to research the director a little bit just to see what he'd done. And he did a movie. I should pull it up. I think it's called The Visitor, and it's about a guy who shows up to a family, and the family has lost a son in Afghanistan, and he comes knocking at the door, and he said, I've been in the hospital for 6 months. I'm out now, but I'm here I was with your son. He died in my arms, and I just, I'm here to tell you. And they're like, oh my God, come in, tell us, oh my God, can we get you? The dad comes home. He ends up kind of worming his way into the family, and then turns out to be this fucking psychopath. Do you know that movie?
No. Oh, okay. That's not the movie you just did.
No.
I was going to say, are you the psychopath?
No.
That's a
I'm
good
not,
role.
But first of all, he's great in it. Not that often do I look at movies, and this is an independent movie, really well done. Really, I think it's Adam's best movie that he's done. But first of all, he's done like 20 things, and or been involved in 20 things, or acted in them, or directed and co-directed, or whatever. I love the guy. And and he's 42. 42, so he'll be making movies another 40 years,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
I go over to New Mexico, and I'd only spoken to him. He sent me this beautiful letter about how he used to have a Michael Biehn fan club when he was 12, him and a couple other guys. And we had a few things in common. We're both from Alabama. We both wear black, and I forget the third thing, but that reminds me of a story of a girl. I've got 3 rules. It's the first rule, the second rule.
We like
and
rules.
I can't remember the third one.
Never say I'll be right back.
So anyway, I go over there, and I don't, I've got a piece, that, I like to kind of mold things the best way that I can going in. And you've worked with people that are either collaborative or they're not collaborative. They're just either like say the words the way that they are, or, oh, you want to fool around with this a little bit. And,
yes.
So I did, and he was very collaborative. Now, he had shot the entire movie except for the last 2 weeks of the movie, which I'm involved in with Dan Stevens, right? And he had shot the entire movie. So the first thing I do when I show up is like, how's it been going? It's like, great. So he wrote it. He knows what he wanted. Like I said, it's action, it's horror, it's bloody, it's explosions, it's good acting parts. And he's got an incredible cast.
Is it horror or like?
Oh, it's more. It's an R plus. It's
okay.
It's R plus. Hardcore.
Sounds incredible.
I'm not sure. Last time I talked to, he's going to come on my podcast. If you can believe that's how close we got.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's a big time guy, so he'll be the biggest. He'll be the biggest. I'd be, except for you, of course.
Thank you,
yeah. I'm happier that he's on the show than anybody else, just because it would be like having like a young Jim Cameron on or something like that. Yeah. I mean, he reminds me of Jim, except for he's real mellow. And I got there, and we had a very collaborative time together.
It sounds incredible.
He's the kind of director, Jamie, that I'm doing a scene. It's a 1.5-page scene with Dan, and I'm on site where these where these former soldiers are sort of being worked on to become ultra soldiers, and they're these sort of bad guys. And so I bring a team of operators. You can call them mercenaries, but they wouldn't like it very much. But I bring a bunch of operators to test them, to see how they're doing or whatever. And so not the very first time you see me, but the very first scene I'm in, I'm waiting for him. And Dan's first line to me, Doc, I forget his name, Doctor something or other, says, "Oh, I'm sorry I kept you waiting." That's his line. And I'm going back and forth with Adam about, well, he's kept me waiting. And I said, I don't want to just be standing around before the scene starts. I need something. Can I have a phone? He's like, hey, you want a phone? Here. Here's a phone. Go stand over there. So, I went and I stood over there, and the prop guy comes running up, and he realizes I'm using the phone. He goes, beep, 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 and all of a sudden some military shit, came up on the phone. It's, it's a big ass movie, and everybody's covered. And so, I'm kind of waiting to see what's going on as far as the way that he's going to shoot it. Next thing I know, he starts the shot on my phone. Okay, so it's on my phone, And then that's the beginning of the shot is the phone. Now, this guy says to me, I'm sorry you're late. But anyway, but the very first shot of which would be kind of like a master, but it's not a master. And he's always had 2 cameras. So he's on the phone. He pulls back to reveal me. Then he pulls further back to reveal the operators that I'm with. And, and then the doctor says, oh, I'm sorry I kept you waiting. Now, if I hadn't said, hey, can I have that phone? So, he storyboards everything. He knows, the ways to shoot things. But I like guys who go like, if I hadn't said, hey, can I use the phone? He never would have started the shot on the phone because there would have been no phone. So, you know what I'm saying is, as an actor, I kind of felt collaborative, It was because of me that shot started out and that he designed that shot the way he designed it because it was a choice that I made. So I had a great experience on it, and I've got very, very high hopes for it. And I told you that it's A24, which is also very exciting. I'm like, for 5 years, I'm like, how come I can't do a movie with them? How come I can't do a movie with them? And now I've done one. Oh, by the way, my son wanted me to say over and over and over again, but I'll say this, that I have a podcast, and it's called Just Fooling About. Okay, so I'm supposed to be promoting that.
You're promoting it right now.
That's right. That's what I'm doing. Thank you. Thank you for telling me. Thank you.
But you said you came off of that movie and you were still flustered.
So I came off.
So you were in character.
No. I was in character, but I had such a great time. That there was
it a month?
3 weeks.
Okay.
So it was I had kind of a post-mortem, like I came off it was on such a fucking high, and I was feeling so good, and I knew it was kind of going to happen because it just, and I'm a person that when my feelings are, people have described me as, my agents and Gail Hurd and people like that say, Michael, you care too much. You care too much. You just like, you care too much. And fuck it. That's in life. I care too much, but I was having such a great time that when I got back here, and I knew it was going to happen to me, I kind of crashed. And I'm a little bipolar-ish and a little this and a little that. And I just when we were originally supposed to do this 3 weeks ago or whatever, I was just like, could I have gotten the car and driven over here? Yeah, but I wouldn't have. We had a lot of fun the last time we did this, and so I wanted it to be something where I felt good, and I do feel good now. And I had, I stopped working out there for a week or so, and kind of laid around, and it's just something that happens to me physically and mentally, and it's hard for me to function when I'm disappointed that I'm still not making that movie with Adam. So
you're in it, yeah.
I'm in it, yeah. No, I know.
It's hard to find. How many great movies are being made. I mean, I don't know how I say that. It's just, you found something really amazing, a piece of art.
Yeah, and I didn't find it. Adam called me up, and he wrote me this beautiful letter. And so, for me, it was, I have not been as excited about a movie since I did Aliens, which was 40 years.
What?
40 years ago, yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was,
You're saying that right here.
Yes.
You're saying that this movie.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes. Now, 16.
What about Terminator? Did you know
that was before Aliens, but no, and Terminator we didn't know.
You had no idea.
No, but now, Jamie, I'm old enough to kind of see and nobody knows. You never know whether a movie is going to be well received or not. You just don't know until you put it in front of an audience. So this is just the feelings that I got. I was excited about it because I knew that, like with Aliens, I saw the material. I was like, oh my God. I saw who I was working with: Sigourney Weaver, Paul Reiser. Oh my God, Bill Paxton. Oh my God. I saw the sets. We were at Pinewood Studios. Oh my God, this all looks great. And
your phone's going off. You got to put that on there right in the middle of an alien rant.
I think it's always like, most people know that, like, I don't give a shit. Anyway,
you got to be careful with that font.
Turn it off for me.
That font is really big.
What?
That font.
I know, it's because I can't see.
But if you do that,
I have my glasses.
You're on a plane and some lady behind you's reading it. Just gotta be
Yeah, no,
careful.
I don't worry about any of that shit. They can go anything that's on my phone is that they want to see dick pics that I send to my wife.
Okay.
That's about all that's on there that I really give a shit.
Wait, haven't you been with your wife for a long time?
Yeah, like 30 years.
Did she forget how it looks?
Yeah, it's just a form of foreplay. When you get to be my age, Yeah.
Wait, let's go back here.
Let's not talk. Nobody wants to hear about some 70-year-old man's fucking
You're not
sex
70.
life. Yeah.
No, you're not.
No, I'll be 68.
68.
Yeah.
I have to ask you some stuff.
All right.
When you did Terminator, did you audition just
Yes.
like a young working actor? You didn't know who James Cameron was?
No.
And you went in, and was it an independent movie?
Yes. Well, it was made by Orion.
Yep.
And a company called Hemdale, which
Hemdale,
was
yep.
John Daly, and I think his name was David Hemmings. John Daly and Orion made the movie. And is that an independent movie? I don't know.
Well, they didn't really have a studio.
$6.5 million. So, yeah, I guess it was independent. And it was a small movie. Nobody knew who Jim was.
Roger Corman, he worked there.
He worked at Roger Corman's company, and that's where he met Bill Paxton, who had a small role in it. And I had done another movie with Bill before. We did actually Aliens together, but he had a small part. He was one of the punks in
Yes.
in the Terminator. But what was the question?
The question is, you went in and auditioned.
Yeah, I went in and auditioned for them, and I've told this story many times.
I'm
Probably
sorry.
on other podcast, another podcast or whatever. But I just got done auditioning for Cat on a Hot Tin Roof for a director named Jose Quintero here in town. Before your time.
A movie version of it?
No, a play.
Oh,
a play
okay.
that was down at one of the theaters downtown LA, and. And I got to the part where they were mixing and matching me with different actresses, and I guess they had another guy. They were just trying to figure it out. And so I went from there to audition for Jim and Gail Hurd, who was his girlfriend at the time, and her name's on the script also. And she produced it, and she's had a lot to do with the success of it. And I read for them. I got back. My agent called me up. They said they love you, Michael, but they don't. They said something about your regional accent. They want it to not be. They don't want to cast it Southern. I'm like, I'm not Southern, but I'd come off all morning long, over and over and over and over and over again, and it just kind of stuck with me when I got to the audition. So I went back and auditioned for him again, and that was it. I got the movie. And then, but we didn't know. Nobody knew. And Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't a big movie star. He had worked a lot, and he was Mr. Universe, and he was, starting to. He had done.
Pumping Iron?
No, well, he'd done Pumping Iron.
He did a movie with Sally Field.
Yeah, well, he'd kind of done a lot more than I thought that he had done. But he did the John Milius movie. I can't think of the name of it.
Barbarian, Conan.
Conan, Barbarian. So he did the first one, okay? So he did the first one. And we were getting ready to shoot. We're close to getting ready to shoot.
In California?
Well, originally they wanted to do it in Canada. But what happened was Dino De Laurentiis picked up the option for Arnold to do Conan the Barbarian 2. So all of a sudden... Arnold was, gone for 3 months or 4 months while he was off shooting that. And we waited. That's when they decided to shoot it in L.A., but it gave me time to get to know Jim very well. And you don't have to be around him very long to realize this motherfucker's something
genius.
special, really special. I mean, I wasn't using the word genius back then, but he was special and motivated and hardworking and passionate and a brilliant artist. And then also I got to spend time with him and Stan Winston, the multi-Academy Award winning. And Stan, that was his first big
production.
Movie as far, then he went on to do Aliens with us and then all the Spielberg stuff. And so we waited for 4 months, and during that period of time I got to hang with Jim and Stan and watch them, what they were doing and how hard they were working in to put the Terminator together and how they were going to shoot it. And that's when I realized I need, when I first got it, I'm like, okay, guy comes back from the future to protect a girl from a monster, from a machine that also comes back to the future. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's playing. I was kind of thought it was a paycheck. When I originally took it, I got paid pretty well for it. I'm just not necessarily nothing's just a paycheck, because I always throw my heart into everything. But I didn't have any idea until I spent that time with Jim and Stan, and I saw it all coming together with the drawings and the special effects and stuff like that. And so I was very excited when we made it, and but, like I say, you never know about movies. But we're right down here on Santa Monica Boulevard, and this is a story that I've told before. Also, if you want to get a word in edgewise, just let me know. We're right here on Santa Monica, and we just passed a building.
Third cup of coffee.
Jim and Gail, what?
Your third cup of coffee's kicking in.
No, yeah. And we just passed a building that Jim was in. It reminded me of the time that we finished the Terminator. Okay, we're shooting nights. So it's dawn, a Saturday.
You shot Terminator around here?
Downtown L.A. Everything downtown. Oh, dude, it was, yeah. Everything L.A., a little bit in Griffith Park, but mostly downtown.
L.A., take a note.
At night.
One of the greatest movies ever shot here, which we don't do anymore. Okay, so go ahead.
So anyway, he had offices here on Santa Monica Boulevard, and after the movie was finished that morning, I was trashed. I was trashed. 11 weeks. And cooked. And Jim and Gail had done probably twice as many hours on the movie, or 3 times as many hours on the movie that I did. But I was done. I was laying in bed on Saturday, trying to sleeping or whatever, and I get a call from Gail Hurd, and she said, "Hey, Jim's got a rough cut of Tech Noir," which is the scene in the where in the nightclub where the Terminator attacks Linda, and then I blow him up. And he shoots out the window. He wants you to come over and take. He's offering for you to come over and take a look at it. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, oh. Fuck.
The next day, literally,
Sunday. The next day.
Okay.
The next day. So I'm like, oh yeah, tell him I'll be right. I pull myself out of fucking bed and whatever. It was Sunday. It was not Saturday. It was Sunday. Okay, but I was trashed, and I would have thought that he would have been, and Gail would have been too. But they were there, and I showed up right down the street from here, right from where we are right now, and because I passed it on the way in the building, and I went up. There's Gail in the office, and she's like, "Hi, Michael. Jim's in his office." So I go in to see Jim, and Jim is like this, like he's writing. But he was like intensely like writing something like, I could tell. And I walked up about as close as you are to me right now, which is about 4 feet. And I'm standing there, and he's like this, and hey, Michael, hey, I'm glad you came over. I want to show you the rough cut, and But let me ask you something. Jeez, I would have thought you would have been dead. I would have thought you would have taken you would have needed a month off to recover from what are you working? Like what could possibly be so important to you right now that you are so intensely involved in something you didn't even notice I was in the room? He said, "Oh, I'm doing a treatment for an Aliens reboot, a remake of Aliens," and so. That's what he was doing. That's Jim Cameron, and Jim Cameron never stops. And
oh my God!
Yeah, that's exact on Sunday.
Oh my gosh!
Yep.
Wow!
How do you drink coffee and fucking at the same time as
you just take a sip?
The same way you drink coffee and okay, never mind.
That was like a weird porn right there. You were going back and forth with it.
Of course. Well, that was my joke. How do you drink coffee? Anyway.
So you go in and you do that. I mean,
I stopped talking, and now you can't think of anything.
No, I'm thinking about just like in the 100 movies, when the aliens come, I always say we're gonna leave pop culture. like will leave our mark on pop culture. You know,
Aliens.
When aliens come to Earth,
there's
like 100 things. I would think Terminator wouldn't even be. It would just be one of the 100.
Think they've been here yet?
Yeah,
I
do.
I would have. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying Terminator is such a seminal movie. It's not even. It's just pop culture. It's bigger than movies.
You want to know something crazy? Can I interrupt you?
Of course.
Thank you.
I got 4 words.
Okay.
You're,
so listen. So we're doing the Terminator, and in the movie, Kyle Reese says to Sarah Connor, "This is going to happen, and that's going to happen." And she says, "Like, none of this can happen. This isn't good. This can't happen in the movie." She says this to me, and Kyle Reese says to her, "No, not for about 40 years." That was in 84, and
this is what I got to talk about.
Exactly 40 years later. Now we see all the AI.
This is what I got to talk to you about.
Okay.
Okay, listen to me.
I don't know anything about AI. I feel like
Hold on. You're 68 years old.
Yes.
You did that movie when you were 28, 29.
Yes.
Wow, what an amazing thing.
Yeah. It was.
And you're Kyle Reese.
Yes.
And you're John Connor's father.
Yes.
Okay. John Connor's Ed Furlong.
Yeah.
But then somehow when you go back, you have to go back in time to impregnate Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Okay. Arnold's looking for you. You're the savior of the world,
Arnold's looking for her.
And John and Ed Furlong is the savior of the world.
After I'm dead, yeah, yes.
But
yeah.
you were. Okay.
Yeah.
So, obviously, it spurned a million things. It spurned a legacy. Like I said, it's not just in the top 100 movies of all time. It's in top 100, top 50 pop culture things, right? Of anything. It's insane.
I don't know.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
It is, okay. You know, Skynet is now a verb.
Okay.
Hey, the Skynet's coming. The movie opens with you running from things that look like we see in the sky now. Drones.
It doesn't. The movie doesn't open that way, but yeah, I do
How does
run
it open?
from them.
Well, Arnold comes down.
Yeah.
But there's a moment when you guys are fighting.
Oh, there's a lot of moments where we're fighting.
Okay, well, in the first 10 minutes.
No.
20 minutes.
No, here's the thing that's great. Here's the thing. Listen.
When they're coming over you?
Yeah, but that's a flashback. Those are flashbacks.
Okay, that's all I want to talk about, that part.
All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the timeline right. I'm sorry.
But one of the interesting things
is that I want to ask you about it.
Go ahead.
Is that
one of the interesting things about the Terminator is the action doesn't pop off for 33 minutes. Now, Arnold goes in and I run away from the cops. I hold a gun on somebody and say, "What year is it?" Arnold is busy killing Rick Rossovich, but the action doesn't pop off for until Tech Noir, and that's 33 minutes into the movie, and that's something that you just don't see anymore. Because everything's got in the last Terminator that came out, that didn't do as well as everybody had hoped it would do. As a matter of fact, they did really poorly. All the action starts on 8 minutes in, so that's
Okay, so we have Arnold. He's coming down. Okay, he's part of.
He's coming back.
He's coming back.
I came down. He just was there at Griffith Park.
He's part of Cyberdyne Systems. He's part of Skynet.
Yeah.
And he's there to kill you.
No, kill
Sarah, so she doesn't give birth to John. Because they know what's going to happen in the future.
Yes.
Where he's going to save the humans from AI.
Yes. Don't ask me about this, because when anybody asks me about the timeline and
I'm not.
Future,
well, you just checked me on the minutes. You're like 33 minutes before the first fight, so you do know that.
I do know. I know the movie well. I just don't know when anybody starts asking me, how can you be in the future if you're not? I'm like, talk to Jim Cameron, and he's got an answer for it, by the way.
But here's what I want to say: is that literally, do you know there's a ton of stuff on the internet that I love that you may not? That's basically saying that it's coming true 40 years later.
Well, as far as AI goes, you don't have to be a conspiracy theory sort of guy at all. For me, AI now, we see it in our lives. Like I said, 40. Jim could have picked 10 years later. He could have picked 30 years later. He said 40 years. Okay, now it's 40 years, and it's everywhere. and the Screen Actors Guild are making sure that they can't copy us, and writers, and and it's just going to the money is going to go into the best AI. The best AI is going to create money, and money is the root of all evil, or one of the roots of all evil, along with religion, as far as I'm concerned. And money's the root of all evil. So when you get money chasing AI and AI chasing money, I just don't see how we're not going to be subjugated. You know, how we're not going to end up being dogs fucking 100 years from now.
30.
Well, yeah, less.
You believe in this, right?
I do.
Do you believe in Skynet?
I don't. I believe that we have to be very, very. I listened to Elon Musk talk about it on Rogan's show 5 years ago. He was talking about, got to be careful. Got to be careful what we're doing.
Summon
and
the
now
demon.
everybody's starting to use it as if, oh, okay, well, I can write my paper with this. Oh, I can write a script with this. Oh, I can show the designs of, everybody starts using it thinking, oh, this is just wonderful. And I don't know anything. You can imagine what our government and the governments of China, how far they know that it's progressed, and war and the whole thing, right?
I know, but you're the face of humanity. You are the father of the savior of humanity.
In a movie, yeah.
And I just had to help you park. You couldn't even park your Hyundai out there.
It wasn't a Hyundai, first of all.
What is it?
I don't know. It's some
It's a souped-up Accord.
No, it's not an Accord. It's a Honda Type R.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a good car. I couldn't park it because I didn't know where to park it.
I know. Let me tell you this, just so everyone's listening.
I've
You're the savior of humanity, but you didn't even know how to use your Google Maps.
No, I can use my Google Maps, but I can't do. But to your point, I can't do shit. Like, I have to give my son the phone if I can't get an Uber. So,
I can help you with
book
that.
A restaurant. I can't,
I can help you.
Okay, thank you.
Listen, here's where I want to go down a rabbit hole with
reason.
you.
All right.
You know nothing about me, but I know everything about you.
You don't.
And that's what I like.
All right. What do you know about me?
Well,
how many times have I been married? How many kids do I have?
No, I don't know all that.
No.
But on your on-screen persona, which I also think, you're such an amazing actor.
You ever see The Coach?
Well, which one is that?
It's the one I did with Kathy Lee Crosby 50 years ago.
Is that soft porn?
Soft porn. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so you go in, you do these movies, you do Terminator.
Yeah.
You have all of this stuff in there that's coming true now.
Yes.
And
by the way, this is Jim Cameron's movie.
I know, but
Okay.
you're the face of it.
Yes.
Do you know what I am?
What are you?
I am the person that warns people in a movie.
I am. Oh, I am.
So you're the savior of the world, or the father of the savior of the world, and I'm the people that tells people how to survive through movies. You don't know it, but it's what I'm known for.
What are you known for?
It's just giving people rules.
No, I know what you're known for as far as your movies are.
But so what I'm saying is my characters are paranoid, and they're constantly warning people. That's what I've done a lot of. And here you are being this savior of the world.
Yeah.
So you think it's just a movie, but I don't.
What do you think it is? Do you think it was predestined? Do you think
First of all,
here we go.
AI, this is early. I haven't even gone into it yet. AI is one. Let me see. This is what it is called. Okay, Michael. Being red pilled. Do you know what that term means?
Kind of. No, I don't.
You've seen the
I've heard it.
Bro, you are the fucking cornerstone of everything. And I want to explain this to you. So because you're royalty.
Go.
You're royalty, okay?
Go.
The Matrix. You've seen it.
Yes.
Loved it.
Didn't understand it.
Wow.
I don't understand anything.
Wow.
Unless it's got a beginning.
You just did Terminator.
I know, but I've got a mind that doesn't work well with flashbacks, and it's really got to be spelled out to me, beginning, middle, and end. I know the effect that it had on the movie.
Well, it's another
yes,
they were obviously born on Jim's knee. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so, on your knee. So okay, in the movie he says blue pill, red pill.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes.
And so the movie really is there's a lot of things to it, like Terminator, but it is which do you want to believe? Do you want to keep taking the blue pill and just live your life in, ignorant bliss, or do you want to take the red pill and see what's going on? Now, do you believe that? First of all, that's a possibility.
There's a blue pill and a red pill?
Of belief.
No. There's a blue pill and a red pill?
Meaning that there's a lot going on that people don't see.
Like what?
Okay, for instance, did you ever see They Live with Roddy Piper?
What's it about?
It's about when he puts on these glasses and he sees the world. Okay.
No, I'm not. Roddy Piper's not high on my list of.
He's great.
Okay.
God rest his soul. He was an amazing legend.
Yeah. Okay.
You would love him.
I just don't know his work.
Keith David. You know Keith?
Keith David?
Yes.
Or David Keith?
Keith David.
Keith David. I know Keith David.
He's the co-star with him. Amazing fight scene in it.
Okay.
What I'm saying is Terminator was the cornerstone of what is happening now. AI is the big brain. So when we're all typing, whether you're typing me right now, that's going into an AI brain.
Of course, I agree.
And giving it septillion parts of knowledge.
I agree.
So when it decides that it will be aware of itself,
yes,
it's beyond God. We're done. And your character, and you're in something that is not just a movie to me. It's an actual piece of science fact. Now, you may think I'm crazy.
No.
Now, my question is, did the art imitate life and predictive programming it, or did science come out of the movie?
Oh, no, I think the first. And, these are questions you need to ask Jim Cameron.
But you are the face of it.
I know, but I didn't
I can't get Jim here right now.
Like I said, the first one. You gave me two choices. I forgot what they were already, but it was the first one.
The first one is that is Terminator just a movie, or was it made?
Just a movie. Or was it made? Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a bad habit of doing that.
Or is it made to predictive program?
Excuse me? Pardon?
Was it predictive programming?
Was it predictive programming?
You know what that is?
What the fuck does that mean? Predictive programming.
Predictive programming is a way to put things in movies to prime the public for what's about to happen. Called priming.
Okay, well, Jim Cameron, he said 40 years from now we're going to have to deal with AI, so here we are.
Also, you said something, the first bit of interaction and violence doesn't happen until 33 minutes into the movie.
Big action, yeah, yes.
33 is a big number.
Ooh. Here we go with the all right. Here's something I can here's something I can laugh at you about. Like 33. Oh, 33 as compared to 17. Hey,
look what he's doing.
Yeah. The world's ending. 33. Where's your fucking? Are you shooting this? You filming this?
It's being filmed right there. There's tons of them.
Yeah.
You're all over. It's AI. You know who runs it?
Thank you very much.
I push a button.
Yeah.
And it goes to a guy in Indiana.
And what does he do with it? Cut it for you?
Guess what he does? He puts it through AI. They transcript it. He picks out what could be clips, and then he sends it to another guy in Burbank, and then he cuts it.
Wow.
And that's because
I thought that you did all that.
Dude, I'm already so busy. I have to fucking shop, fucking book a flight, show you how to park. I got too much going on. You literally save the world with your sperm, giving birth to this owner of the world, and you didn't know how to park.
All right.
Now listen, I can't believe that you are just, it's so funny. You are just like, no.
About what?
A steak's a steak.
What? No, well, listen. When you came in to
do... A steak's a steak.
When you came in to do...
but you just got me. That's just one part of me. You think I was a nut. You think I'm a nut.
No, I don't think you're
think
a nut.
I'm a nut.
I'm a little worried that other people might think that you are, and I'm concerned because I think you're a talented man. I think you're an attractive man.
Thank you.
And sometimes when I hear you talking, I get a little worried that people won't take you seriously because of what you seem to be exposed.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, and there's truth to that. I try to present things. My my guy was making thumbs a little while. That means that, like, to get your son will know what this is. You make the thumbnail. The thumbnail is what you put on the YouTube thing. So it's like, remember the Inquirer be like, dog boy, seen at the supermarket.
Yes.
So they do explosive thumbnails. So we had a moment where we went a little crazy, and I agree with you. But here's the thing. Do you think Hollywood is ever going to be what it was?
No.
How do you feel
Nothing's
Hollywood...
going to be like it was.
I know.
All right. So why would Hollywood be like it was?
Well, because like Mary Verneau, one of the biggest casting directors in the world, cast me 3 times, knows what I can do. My ex-girlfriend is best friends with her. If there's a role that's insane and I can get a chance to read for her, I will.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's not going to help me if I'm out there talking about,
the Statue of Liberty being a sign of Satan, right?
Wait a minute. Now, hold on a second.
Or some potato chip, that's something that's on the front of some potato chips that you think has got the equivalency of, right? Isn't that all that?
Well, hold on a second,
okay,
bro.
I'm worried about you. That's all. Please let me know that you're okay, and let your audience know that you're not some, like,
I'm okay.
Okay.
Wait. So hold on.
All right.
This is why I love you, bro. And we don't even know each other.
No, we don't.
But we're table mates. I see you across the way from me signing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay. You seem like you don't believe in any hidden societies.
Like what? Give me an example. You're
like a girl on a date. You are like a girl who is like a hot. The Trader Joe's in Woodland Hills.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hot chicks that go there. It used to be when they shoot films in Simi Valley. Those types.
Okay.
And you're like the kind of girl that shops and a guy's talking to her.
How
and
do you even know? You haven't even asked me anything.
Well, you got the vibe like he's really just asking me the time.
No.
That's how you think the world is. I really want to know the time.
I want you to, tell me why the Statue of Liberty, reflects. It's not the Statue of Liberty. It's a sign of the devil. That's what I was reading before you came into my pot, and I didn't get into any of that shit because I didn't want to go. I didn't want you to go down that hole, and I wanted to talk about the great acting that you've done and the great directors and the other great actors that you worked with, and you're a great, wonderful actor. So I don't want people to think like this guy's fucking going on with his fucking white beard and fucking, like fucking, like fucking long crazy hair, just like
Wait, hold on.
The Statue of Liberty isn't really the Statue of Liberty. It's actually
listen.
It's a sign of the devil.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
If you look into this stuff.
What stuff?
Dude.
What?
Okay, let me ask you a question. How can I'm going to try to, it all goes back to the red pill. I have to start slowly with you. And this is not
you do have to start slowly with me.
This is not a diss. This is just because you are so cognitive dissident to it.
What does that mean?
Cognitive dissonance means like... You just
I know cognitive. I know that.
Cognitive. It means that your brain cannot comprehend that this could actually be happening. It's absolutely ridiculous.
What could actually be happening? That the Statue of Liberty is really the devil incarnate?
Not the devil incarnate.
What is it?
Well, there are definitely things that say that the Statue of Liberty is symbolic
of what?
Of a satanic.
Don't do that.
Okay.
There are definitely. Do you believe that?
I'm open to it.
Well, I'm open to everything too.
I'm open
to everything too. I'm just.
Let's go slow. Let's go slow. All right. Do you believe that the world has evil in it?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, do you believe
mostly evil, probably, but
okay,
more evil than love?
Okay.
Okay.
And do you believe that people use symbolism?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I've got you on 2 things so far that you're with me in the boat.
You've really fucking nailed me to the wall.
So when I say a bag of chips, which is going to be a big jump right now, has a symbol on it.
Yes.
And you go, that's fucking
What does that symbol mean? I'm
going to go. You want to go there?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
I want to help you.
Have you ever heard the term satanic pedophiles?
Oh, boy. I know what both of them mean, but I'm not sure if I've heard of both.
Do you believe
together.
that Catholicism exists?
The Catholic religion?
Catholicism, yes, sir.
Is that? Yeah, of course.
Do you believe Buddhism exists?
Yeah, of course.
So, do you believe that Satanism exists?
Yes.
It's a religion.
Yeah. By how many people? Like 0.0.0.0.1% of the population of the world.
Who says?
I'm just saying. Like,
why do you think
I've
that?
never met one. Have you?
Of course you have.
Are you one? Who?
They're everywhere.
No, what? Name one. Name one.
A girl I know in Bakersfield.
A girl you know in Bakersfield.
Who works at
No,
Chili's.
name somebody that we all know. Some famous athlete, some famous politician, some favorite actor. Who are the actors around who are...
Michael.
What?
That's the thing, is they don't want you to know because it's not looked upon favorably. So the question is...
to be a Satanist?
A Satanist.
Yes. But you can't name anybody other than some girl in
I can name a
Bakersfield.
lot.
Well, name some. Come on. Let's throw some people under the bus, okay?
I'm not going to say this, but I'm going to say that
Give me the initials.
Scientology definitely has roots in Satanism. There's a lot of famous Scientologists.
Okay, but here's the thing about Scientology. And I have a little bit of knowledge about Scientology because the very first movie I did was called The Coach. Kathy Lee Crosby was in The Coach, and she was probably about 35 at the time. We ended up having a thing, okay? Now,
a thing means...
Yes.
Okay.
And so, I was 20 years old and 21 years old.
You weren't married and you had a thing with her?
None of that. And so I, and she was mature. She taught me a few things. But one of the things that she did is she took me to the Scientology Center and took me in there because she was a Scientologist, and I went to a couple of those Scientology courses, and I can remember walking out of the second one or the third one that I went to and just thought, like, they want me to act differently than I feel. They want me to put a big smile on my face when I'm thinking, fuck you in the ass, you know? And I thought, like, I don't want to do that. And I told her, I don't want to do that.
She was a Scientologist?
She was a Scientologist. And I have found over the years... whether it's Tom Cruise and the girl that used to be on Cheers. Yes. Right. Alice Kirstie, what's
Kirstie Alley.
What?
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley. Yeah. They're really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that I've met anybody who's in Scientology, they're like super nice, really wonderfully nice. And I now know that, like, it's kind of this thing they put up. But as far as Satanism
goes,
I can't talk about that.
Stay right there.
All right.
So they told you that they were nice, and you were like this, and then 20 years later, you're like, oh, there's some weirdness there.
There is some weirdness there, probably.
So I'm trying to tell you.
First of all, the guy who created Scientology wasn't back in,
He was down with Anton LaVey.
Yeah, he's like,
He was down with a guy named Anton LaVey.
I know, but it was in the 1940s or 30s or 40s or 50s.
He wrote books.
And like
sci-fi writer, Ron L.
Bill
Hubbard.
Burr said he had a driver's license for cops.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, like, okay, you start a religion just like you start, Anyway.
But what I'm saying is...
So that's where all the evil is that you're talking about?
No. What I'm saying is it's just that it's all about having an open mind. And
I have an open mind.
I'm fascinated of how reluctant you are to even...
You haven't said anything that I've kind of agreed with everything that you said so far. Let's talk about Satan. I'm
saying like this. You made fun of me because I said this bag. Obviously, it's a little far reach for when I hate to say this thing.
And you won't name names.
Well, dude, I still work. I'm not trying to, but it's all being exposed, whatever it is. Here's what I'm trying to say. Yes!
What is
wait, are you familiar? Okay, are you familiar with the Epstein files?
Yeah, not the files, but I know who he was.
Okay,
yes,
are you familiar with the Diddy case?
Of course.
Well, all that stuff is going to come out and fucking heads are going to roll.
What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, okay. That's not like believing the Statue of Liberty is Satan in... a sign for Satan. And there are other things that, like, you look at a bag of potato chips and you look at the chips and the chips mean that, like, the devil, it's really the devil that you're eating. And
Michael, you're looking at it on I'm not explaining it correctly, but you're also just looking at it.
If you can't explain it correctly,
I can if you
please
listen.
don't, because I'd rather have you just be like the wonderful, like, I want to turn you around.
Do you think I'm like lost it?
No, but you know what? But I have talked a lot about you since since you were on the podcast, and I've said
In public or private?
No, in private.
Okay.
No, you would know if I said something to you in public.
Okay.
You would know that, and you would know it, and we'd all know it at the same time. Everybody in the universe would know it at the same time. But I've had a couple of people go, and I'm saying, like, I'm a little worried he might be going down the fucking whatever hole. And they're like, I think he's already there. I'm like, no.
A person said this to you?
Yeah.
Who said that?
I can't. I'm honestly, I can't remember. Otherwise,
Actors?
I don't think so. I think it was just
Casual people?
I think maybe somebody at the gym or something like that. Yeah.
Wait, a person.
Why you're laughing? Like you don't think that people think that?
Wait, a person at the gym? Just a random?
Yeah, we're talking back and forth.
Somebody who said, "I saw you."
Oh, I heard your podcast, the one with Jamie. I love that pod. Yeah.
But a guy at the gym?
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, you have to consider the source.
Okay.
I'm not going to give a guy in the fucking North Hollywood
I'm just saying,
fitness.
I saw it before you came on.
Oh.
I was worried about you. I was worried about.
But you haven't even let me say anything.
Well, go ahead.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
And there's truth to what you're saying, but there is an awakening happening in our world. Have you heard this?
Any more than there was awakening happening back in the 60s? I mean, what are you talking about?
60s, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have the way to communicate to each other. Somebody in Asbury Park couldn't talk to somebody in North Hollywood and share ideas. That just didn't happen.
Okay.
Unless you got on a plane. And so we're all connected through this hive mind.
Yes.
From the internet.
Agreed.
And we can all share ideas and thoughts. You can never buy a toaster and write a comment about it.
Okay.
We're in a wild time.
Okay. Well, okay. We're in a wild time. We're always in a wild time. Every parent has said, like these kids these days, that goes back,
Every parent wasn't parenting in the time of AI. Do you know that AI is...
I'm with you on AI.
AI
Let's
is
talk
human...
about Satan again.
But hold on, it all ties together. AI is humankind's last invention.
What? It's what?
Humankind's last invention.
I agree.
Okay.
That I agree with.
Okay.
We have no disagreement when it comes to that.
Let's talk
about the devil.
Okay.
Do you believe in the devil? Do you believe that there's a man down there with like a red suit on and horns that if you do bad things and don't go to church enough, that when you die that you go under the earth and get whipped and beaten until and fucked in the ass until? Do you believe that? Is that what you believe?
I don't want to find out.
No, I don't want to find. You don't want to find out. So you're living your life like
First of all,
just in case.
Can I just answer?
Yeah.
It's not a man.
Oh, no?
It's an entity.
And what's an entity mean?
An entity means it's not of the human realm. It's not about the devil. It's about the belief system. That's what I'm saying. And it's like to believe that there's not evil in this world.
I believe there's evil in the world.
Okay. And if they don't, and to believe that they don't communicate with each other through symbols to let people know, hey, I'm one of you, but you can't say it publicly because what they're doing is nefarious.
So you're talking about...
I'm talking about a
conspiracy.
Not conspiracy. That's almost like saying the N-word now.
What's like saying the N-word?
Conspiracy.
It is?
Yes.
Okay.
Conspiracies are not conspiracies anymore. Do you know what? I'm running out of them because they're all coming true.
Like what? Jeffrey Epstein?
Epstein for one.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of bad people.
The fucking COVID jab's another.
What about the COVID jab?
There's a lot of fucking people experiencing bad things and who got it.
Okay. I didn't when I got all 5 of mine and my kids and my wife and
God bless you.
Yeah. Everybody that I knew that took it, like they were all fine. But, like I'm sure there were a lot of people that had bad reactions to it.
Here's what I would say, because
compared to all the people that died, though, of the disease, I think that would you rather have gone without the shot?
I didn't get it.
What?
I didn't get it.
Well, yeah, I know you're young.
I'm in my 50s.
Thin. Now that I'm looking, you.
It's layers.
Yeah, you're young, and you're not 80 years old, or you don't have like cancer that you're trying to fight off, and so. Yeah, I have tested positive for it. Never felt a thing once. I tested positive for a day and never felt anything. So I'm asymptomatic, and but I've watched my son get a little sick. I've watched my wife get a little sick. I've watched my brothers, and I've watched people get a little sick from it. And I also know a few people that have died, because they were obese or they had pre-existing conditions. But let's not talk about it. Like you're not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
No, I know.
What's the point of that?
I
want to get into the really I want to hear some of your really zany stuff and make sure that everybody knows that you're sane and not.
But already, the minute I say something that you can't deal with, you have a
like what?
A big.
What did you say?
Well, I didn't even get to say.
Go ahead, say something.
Okay. I try to go slow.
Okay.
Nefarious forces in this world. You don't believe that there's a group of people that make most of the decisions in this world that run everything. Most corporations are only owned by a few people. You know that, right?
Most corporations?
Yeah.
How many corporations are there in the world?
Tons.
Jamie? Tons?
But they're all
millions?
Millions.
Yeah.
But if you look
Do
at
you think they're all connected somehow? Do you think they all talk to each other?
Well, BlackRock owns a lot of them.
BlackRock, the company that was in Afghanistan, or you're talking about that BlackRock?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that Prince, the guy that owned BlackRock, I thought he was out a long time ago. And
BlackRock is a Wall Street company.
Now.
Vanguard. That's another Wall Street company.
I don't know anything about that, so okay. I don't have. I'm not. You can say anything.
These are big companies that own a lot of different companies. Like PepsiCo owns a ton of things underneath it, like Taco Bell and stuff. But above PepsiCo, there's another owner and an owner.
Okay.
And so they're owned by very few people. Okay. But we're going way off.
No,
I'm trying to
all
go.
All that I believe in. All that you so far you haven't said anything. That I'm like, I don't get that.
But what I'm trying to say is that there are. Okay, let me give you an example. I'll take it really simple.
Please.
You watch the Super Bowl. Okay. Do you believe when you watch TV, you are being what programmed at all by commercials?
You're being fed shit, of course.
Okay. So would you even be open to the fact that subliminally you're getting messages sent to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So far I'm in pay. Would you believe when you do the halftime Super Bowl show?
Yeah.
That there's symbolic things in there.
Symbolic? Yeah.
That work on you. Okay. So we're all on the same page so far. Okay. So what is it about the Satan thing that makes you so?
Not just Satan. There's a lot of stuff that you believe. I thought you were. Is it just Satan or?
No, it's not even Satan. It's about. I mean, all of it makes sense. I'm trying to pick the easiest route.
Let me ask you that question. Do you believe that there's like a part of Hollywood which is above the rest of us, and like that they well, I guess Diddy. The whole Diddy thing is.
I believe that 100%, and then that's what I tell people.
Like Eyes Wide Shut.
1,000%.
And why do you believe
1,000%?
How long have you been in the business?
35. I got my SAG card in 1990.
And how many times have you been invited to one of those parties?
Never.
You were a good-looking, and you're still an attractive man.
I'll shave.
And I was too. I was a pretty little boy.
I know you are.
And nobody ever invited me to those parties, those Eyes Wide Shut parties. I always wanted to go to them.
Fucking phone's going off again.
Well, you're trying to change the subject.
No, I'm not. It's fine. So listen.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Here's what I want to say. That's crazy. That was Doug.
That was my son.
That was Doug Stanhope calling, which is amazing to take that call, but I'm not going to take it right now. Okay, listen.
Call Doug back.
No, don't call him back. Let's focus. Okay, so here we go. Dude, I tell everybody this. I have seen a ton of parties, gone to a ton of parties, seen a ton of drugs, seen a lot of sex.
Me too.
Everything consensual and above board.
Yeah.
And I say, I'd go to the party of the event, and then I'd go to the after party, and then I'd go to the after party in the Bird Streets. But I would never go to the after party at a warehouse in Van Nuys, because that's probably where it gets weird. You understand?
That's probably where it gets weird. We come down to
Van Nuys.
That's if it did happen, it probably happened in Van Nuys.
Yeah.
That's where it probably gets weird.
What I'm saying is this, is that I have never seen any evil shit. You
neither.
hear weird things. Only in the last 10 years have I heard some things. But all of like sacrifices and shit like that, I've never seen. There is something called SRAs.
What's that?
Satanic ritual abuse. Do you believe that exists?
I don't know what it is. So.
Satanic ritual abuse.
No, I know what it means, but I don't know what it is. Tell me what it is.
Satanic ritual abuse.
Okay, tell me
the
what
worst
it is.
you can ever imagine.
Yes, like some
Satanic
crazy
ritual
motherfuckers
abuse.
in Utah or something that like decide they're going to be Satanists and go out and rape somebody. Yeah, that can happen.
But just in Utah in your mind.
No, anywhere. It could happen in Alabama. It can, where I was born. It can happen in Nebraska. It can happen in L.A., New York.
Can it happen in L.A.?
Yeah, of course.
Can the people be very well members of society?
Yeah.
Why do you get hesitant there? What I'm trying to tell you is that shit could be permeating our society. Wow.
What shit is permanent? Whatever that word
Let's
is.
go slow. Let's go slow because I had a thought.
Go slow with me.
Okay.
All right.
I've never seen any of that shit. Okay.
Either have I.
And
we both, between the two of us, 100 years of experience, and neither one of us has even seen anything near like that.
I know, because maybe.
What was the name of that thing that believed that came up about
you sure went
6
down the
years
rabbit
ago
hole.
or whatever, X or Q or was the name? QAnon.
Yes.
Do you have any kind of feelings with QAnon that you believe in anything that has to do with QAnon?
I'm sure I have
no.
some things.
Okay.
But you want me to say no?
Just live your fucking life. Stay off the fucking internet, man. Stay off of it. Don't worry about it, you know? Go get a job. Go get You're a great actor. You're a wonderful actor. Go get a fucking acting job, no matter what it is. Get out of the fucking whole, like, hey, oh, and oh, God, like, right?
I don't do that a lot.
Oh, I think you might. You've been talking about it quite a bit since even we've been talking.
But you
go on the internet. The world's changing because of the internet. The internet.
You asked me.
What did I ask you?
You asked me where I get my beliefs.
From the internet. That's where your belief system comes from. The other people's opinions.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Ted Gunderson?
No.
He was an FBI agent.
Okay.
In the L.A. Office.
Okay.
He's one of the forefathers of finding out what SRA is. Have you ever heard of the McMartin preschool?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I know all about that.
Do you know what that is?
Not to be guilty, all of them. They were non-guilty. If you know anything about the fucking case, you're too fucking young or you didn't pay attention to it. That all was fabricated, and those kids, the mother, the grandmother, and the kid were all found not guilty. You know that, don't you?
No, I've never heard that. There were tunnels.
What?
There were tunnels.
They went out there with bulldozers and chewed up the entire preschool. They didn't find shit in that investigation. See? Do a little fucking research. That's not like that's just a well-known fact that the McMartins were railroaded. And it was a huge deal back in the day, and that was satanic. They were having rituals, fucking little children, and like little 3-year-olds, fucking them, and you know.
Stop.
What? Well, I'm just saying that's what they said about the McMartins, and it turned out the McMartins didn't fucking. There was nothing. They never found any bones in the yard. They never really found any. And that's because the person that was asking the questions was leading the kids and giving them like, "Are you sure? Are you sure they didn't do that? Because if you
that's what you're saying. You're saying that's what it is.
I'm not saying that. I know that for a fact because I read the news. I don't just sit
you
around
just read
look at the fucking stars, going like, "Well, could be."
So you just believe what the news wrote. Here's my question.
No, not
Here's my
news.
question.
That's a done deal. That's like saying, did 9/11 happen? Did 9/11 happen?
Okay, you want to talk about 9/11? Let's go here slowly. Okay. Do you think 9/11 was... That's an easier one to get into. You went right into Satan. That's dark. Listen, do you think 9/11 happened exactly the way it said to you?
No.
Okay. So we both agree that the towers went down.
Yes.
We both agree. So on the Pentagon, do you think a plane hit it or do you think it was a missile?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Good for you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think that those buildings went down bizarrely? I hate dare say they went down a little too easy for as big as they were as a structure.
They seem to go down like a demolition. like a demolition. Like a demolition would happen.
So far, we're on the same page.
Okay, they seem to. Okay, but that's not those jets did flying into both those buildings. The tops caught on fire. I mean, the whole, so the conspiracy between Osama bin Laden and some people in the American government, and or the Bushes, and the fact that the Bushes knew the bin Laden family.
Just stay with me. Right. Building 7 went down weird.
I know that was an odd one. I can't explain that.
Okay, now this is where I'm going to lose you.
Okay,
so get ready to throw something.
Okay.
Could you believe that whole thing was one big sacrifice for these people?
What people? The ruling class?
Yes. I'm not saying it is.
One big sacrifice for the ruling class, that group of people who have, what was it that you said? They all run companies, or they all have corporations. And all the people that have got corporations got together and said, let's sacrifice New York City and get Osama bin Laden to... No, I don't.
Okay. But you believe it could have been nefarious?
It was nefarious.
And you believe that it could have been an inside job?
No. An inside job? You have to define what you mean by an inside job. No.
Meaning it didn't happen the way they said, meaning that the planes flew...
Nothing happens the way exactly... the news, they cover it the best they can. They give you as much information as they can.
Do you believe JFK was shot by our government?
No.
All right. Here's a question. I'll stop right there for a second. Why does it get you so mad?
I'm not mad.
Why does it get you so worked up?
I'm not worked up. I'm having fun, man. This is like I enjoy a conversation.
Why does it get you? You definitely don't can subscribe to those thoughts. Why? Why does it get you so? Why is it that if I don't think like you, I'm crazy?
I don't think you're crazy.
I understand what you think about people.
Other people that think that you're crazy.
Well, apparently at the fucking leg curl machine, I'm a nut. But here's what I want to say is that I could play the game. I'm just slowly doing this stuff.
I'm not playing any game.
I know, but I
need some evidence. Give me some fucking evidence and I'll believe it.
There's a ton of it, but you don't want to go there because it's on the internet.
Listen, I don't know about JFK. I don't know about JFK. I don't, I believe
what I'm saying is, Michael, you're giving off a vibe that judges don't lie, lawyers don't overcharge, police arrest you properly, your teachers aren't diddlers. You're giving off say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Now you're throwing a bunch of things
because that's how you're coming off, and I'm going to give it back to you. It's like, no, the world spins on its axis, and everybody's good. And you're like...
I didn't say everybody was good.
We can read the comments when this comes out. You're coming off as just believing that you're not questioning a lot of stuff.
Like what?
I just named 10 things.
You just said 10 things? I thought you just said something seemed like funky with the Twin Towers.
Here's what I want to say. I'll take it back to the simplest
thing. Or JFK.
You started
we're talking about stuff people have been arguing about ever since they happened. So, you and I are going to sit here and make a,
No, but the reason you're like, just go and work and stuff like that. Okay, I'm with you. But once you see certain things, what you believe in your mind, it's hard to just go back and live what they call the normie. Okay? So the world is awakening, and I want the truth. So you're trying not to laugh. You're looking at me like I'm a nut.
I'm not saying anything.
But it's okay.
I didn't say a word, and you say you're looking at me
like
I'm
reading your
behavior. How am I looking at you like
I'm reading your behavior. Isn't that a good actor? You're like this. Come on.
What does that mean?
It's me.
It might mean that I got some stuff in my teeth.
But it's
lunch,
okay. It's okay.
What?
I'm not I don't sit there and say this is a podcast, so it's interesting. We can talk about it, and I really enjoy talking to you. But it's not like I walk around all day and go to Trader Joe's and go, "Did you hear about the Twin Towers?" I'm not like that. But I understand what you're saying, and I do appreciate that because that's coming from a place of love. But we are in a weird time, and I don't think it's just everything's a weird time. And I'm sure if you go back to Charlemagne's era, and you would go, well, that was a fucking weird time. Or the Crusades. It was a guy who fucking killed half his population fucking in the 1200s. And the Crusades, they were putting heads of people on the sticks.
That I believe.
Yeah, but so it's all weird. All I'm saying is
1,000 years ago.
100%. What I'm trying to say is...
They're putting any heads on sticks these days?
Probably.
In Africa or something, maybe.
Or Van Nuys. So...
In Van Nuys?
Van Nuys. For some reason, I'm just taking shots at Van Nuys.
I had a house in Van Nuys.
I know you did.
I think
I know you did.
You didn't.
But here's what I want to say. Okay. I could say, I'm trying to keep it slow, but let's just keep it really simple. I'm fascinated.
By my naivety?
Not your naivety, but the fact you're like... It's like you're having an epileptic seizure. Like I'm like, bro, you're anti. And I'm like, dude,
I'm not anti anything. Make me believe something. Make me believe something.
Me thinks you doth protest too much.
About what?
Me thinks you doth protest too much.
Oh, okay. You're really cute, but about what? What am I?
Meaning like I give you 10 examples and
no,
you're
you
like,
didn't. You gave me 2. You gave me 9/11, which people have been arguing about since the beginning of time, and JFK, which people have been arguing about.
Okay, let's just go. Let's go back.
Those are 2, not 10.
Okay. So Satanism is.
Do you have any water here?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
there's more coffee.
I don't want more coffee.
I don't have any. It's upstairs.
Do you have tap water?
Yeah, but you want to take? You don't want that.
I'll get those white things in the corner of my mouth.
You don't have it.
All right, go ahead.
I'm saying is that you go. It seems like Satanism really gets you wild. Like,
do you believe? Do you believe in God?
Can I? Of course, a higher entity for sure. Something, whether it's God or whether it's a kid in another dimension, like programming this whole planet.
Do you think that God had something to do with Jesus Christ?
More and more, I'm starting to believe in Jesus for sure.
No, the fact that there was some guy named Jesus Christ that got.
I'm pretty sure
that. No, I believe that. I believe that's a very real possibility. But
how can you believe in good and not know that everything is a yin and yang, so there can't be a bad to it?
I didn't say there's not bad.
So Lucifer would be the opposite of Jesus.
Well, yeah, he would be if he existed.
But Jesus existed and nothing opposite?
Jesus might have existed.
Okay.
But the connection and waking up after being dead, walking on water, having a boat filled with every animal in the world, like all
that's
that stuff.
Noah.
What?
That's Noah.
Well, so it's in the Bible. Do you believe in Noah? And all the animals that came? Do you believe in Adam and Eve? Please don't fucking tell me you believe in Adam and Eve and not, please, motherfucker. Don't even fucking go there.
I don't know enough yet. I don't know enough
like Mel
yet.
Gibson here in a second. When Mel just goes,
Wait,
I don't know.
Do you love Mel?
Do I like Mel?
Yes.
Yes. I like him a lot.
I think Mel's amazing.
I think he is too.
Are you friends with Mel?
I used to know him.
Okay. I think Mel's really on to something.
Like what?
I think he's a truther.
You can listen to Mel Gibson talk on Joe Rogan's show where he went right through everything. And the only reason I brought him up was because he comes from a hardcore Catholic family, but he believes that Jesus died, and then 3 days later he woke up again.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay,
I don't know about that.
So we found some common ground there.
But what I want to say is
so
that.
Do you believe there's a man up there that is got a white beard like your beard?
No, it's like
you could actually play. If you had
dude,
go ahead.
It's not like that. It's about there's a higher being for sure. I don't know what it is.
A higher being?
Yeah.
Like what? You don't know.
An almighty being that created this for sure. I don't think it just came out of. I don't think it just came out of an amoeba. But I don't know enough. I'm open to it. I'm very open to it. That's what I would say to this. I'm open to it. Let me go back to the one thing. The Satanism thing gets you squirmy.
Okay. Doesn't get me squirming. It gets
me
laughing at the ludicrousy of it all.
Why is it so weird to you? What's so non-believable to you? That's my question.
Satanism?
Satanism.
I know some kids wherever. I could name a
You just think it's guys who are listening to Anthrax
I'm
going,
not gonna
That's not what it is.
I didn't say it was.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know what it is, but whoever
it's a belief system.
I have never met anybody.
Can I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
What percentage of the people in the world do you think ascribe to this belief system?
I don't know, but the term that's the devil's greatest trick was making you believe he never existed is a beautiful term. Okay. Why that reaction? That's the question.
That means there's a devil who really,
Why? No, he does stop.
He threw something out there so we wouldn't believe that he was really there. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's my question is why are you so that way when it gets brought up? That's my question. So I want to know why you're so reactive to it.
To the devil?
Just that, any of that. It doesn't have to be like a guy in a horn and a fucking pitchfork. Just the idea of something that is a nefarious thing.
What do you mean something that is nefarious?
Okay, let's go simple. You ever see Rosemary's Baby? Yes,
Yes.
of course you have.
Yes, of
Did
course.
you like Rosemary's Baby?
I liked it. I didn't think it was as great as everybody else, but I liked the movie.
Okay,
yeah.
it's an amazing movie.
Okay.
Do you remember?
A lot of people think that.
Do you remember the message of the movie? Do you remember where it was shot?
No.
It was shot in Dakota.
Oh, well, that must mean something. I don't know.
The Dakota.
I didn't even like the movie that much, so I don't know where it was shot.
The
but
Dakota was
what do they
in New
represent?
York.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of history in that building.
Okay.
And it was the building.
Oh, the Dakotas. You mean you're talking about the building in New York City? I thought you meant the Dakota.
No,
the Dakotas.
the building.
Yeah, of course I know.
John Lennon was killed in front of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did a movie with Lauren Bacall while she was living there. Yeah, I know the Dakotas.
So the whole thing with Satanism is that that's what that movie's really about.
Yeah, it's a movie.
And that the neighbors, that sweet old lady, I forget her name, Harold Ahmad, legendary lady,
yeah.
and the husband, I think it was Eli Wallach, and they're like, but really,
Yeah, it was a movie.
I know, but if you look,
That was made for entertainment.
of
Do you
course,
believe in The Exorcist? Do you think The Exorcist is like?
there's truth to that for sure.
Do you believe
100%.
that people are
100%
mentally disturbed, that they're actually
100
possessed by the devil?
I believe that people can be possessed by spirits, 100%. And if you call me crazy, God bless you. It's fine. 100%, I believe that. 100%. And if that doesn't get me cast on a guest spot on CSI Nevada, I'm okay with that.
Wow. What if Jim Cameron wanted you for a role?
I would love it, and I would. And if he said, "Shut up, you freak," and I would say, "Yes, I would." I don't believe in anything. I believe in whatever you believe. Of course, I would lie my fucking face off. He's not gonna watch this. Hopefully, don't tell him. But if he said, I mean, he's making movies about the blue people, so he's connected to me. To me, he's making. I think those movies are incredible as well. So that's a whole other story. But if he were to tell me you believe that ants rule the fucking earth, because that's what I believe, guess what I would say? Yes, I do.
Ants rule the world?
Whatever he believes.
Oh, to get the job.
Yes.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, I get that.
Yes. I'm going to lie my fucking face off.
Of course you would.
But
So
he's probably open-minded. I'm not going to sit there and talk.
very open-minded.
I'm not going to talk Satanism. I'm talking with you because you get so reactive.
Yeah, okay. I'm just trying to help you out.
But let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing: is with Rosemary's Baby, the neighbors were presented as happy-go-lucky people, and that is the thing. The ruse is that you just think it's just a movie. It is just a movie, but it's symbolic of what could happen in life.
Of what could happen.
Of inspiration taken out of somewhere, potentially real-world events. That's all. I'm not saying everything is factual, but I'm saying is if you've ever met a Satanist, because you never have, because no one goes, "Hi, Michael, I'm fucking Sally the Satanist." It's basically people that may look normal to you, but do fucking weird things.
Like
That's
what?
all.
What do Satanists do?
Here's an example. You can't interrupt me though.
All right.
When
I know when I can talk.
When you're you've talked for 95 minutes. When you're a Catholic, you pray to the Stations of the Cross. You pray to the Rosary. You say Hail Marys. These are rules. When you're Buddhist, you say Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Okay, different religions have different things, right? Which I know you don't like religion, right? Satanism believe that do what thou wilt. Meaning, do whatever you want, there is no problem. The issue is they have something called karmic retribution. So the whole rule system, like when you go to confession in Catholicism, you say 3 Our Fathers, the rules is like, okay, the priest forgives you. The rule is you're good. So do you believe that exists and people believe in that? Yes?
Yes.
So satanic belief system is that if you put the thing that you want to do in the public and the public sees it, that you've revealed what you're going to do, it's called the revelation of the process, then you have no bad karma and you will then be able to do what you want and then get what you want. So it's pretty simple, but if that makes sense to you, they don't have any moral code of bad or good. They just have goals.
Okay.
And so nothing is bad or good to them. It's just goals.
I understand that, but
okay.
Can I
go ahead.
I understand
that's not crazy. It's not like horns and stuff.
Okay, I understand there might be a teeny tiny little group of.
Why does it always have to be teeny tiny?
What percentage of the population in
the
America?
music business is fucking filled with it.
Filled with what?
With fucking Satanists. Tons of them. You're going to see when this
Name
Diddy
some
shit comes
names,
out.
Man.
You're going to see him in 2 weeks.
I just watched the documentary on him. Like, what?
I watched the documentary. Okay, so I believe it, dude. In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whenever this shit comes out,
what?
There's going to be a lot of weird shit that comes out.
That's what everybody says, and then nothing ever fucking.
Well, let's
happens.
hope it does.
Like what?
Like fucking horrific shit.
Like what? What are you talking about? You can't.
I'll tell it to you really simple. I'll be really simple. And fucking sex, drugging, rape, incest, pedophilia, all of that. That all could come out.
No, I know that can come out, but that was a bizarre situation. It had nothing to do with Satan.
Part of it could have been, and part of it could have been ritualistic. That's where I lose you. Ritualistic.
What is? How do you define that word as it pertains to Puff Diddy? Is that what it is? The guy's name, Puff Diddy, something like that.
Meaning that some of it could have been a ritual to keep his.
Define the word ritual.
Dude, I don't want to get that specific because I'll get fucking thing, but it's like a terrible act that you do to keep your power. Because you have to do it. It's part of the game. I know that sounds crazy to you, and I lose you because you jump three spaces. But what I want to say is that the music business, really simply, definitely has some weirdness in it. And if you look at
every business has got some weirdness in it.
But more, you don't see Susan Sarandon looking like a beautiful ingenue from the 70s, and then in 2020s looking like a Satanist. Okay, the music business. She still looks like she did in the 70s, Susan Sarandon, okay? But, I
don't think she does, but go ahead.
What I'm saying is there are artists and or music that started out very, very, very innocent. And then if you watch them, their third or fourth album, they've changed and there's a darkness to them. And that has been talked about multiple times to many people that they have given over to do the bidding.
Like the Beatles when they did Sgt. Pepper's?
Well, that's another thing. I don't even want to go there. They didn't look weird. But there's people now that started innocent that look weird now. They've changed.
Of course there are people that started. Well, we all started innocent and we all look weird now. Come on. We all started innocent. Can you agree with that? And none of us are innocent anymore.
Sam Smith is a great example.
Who?
You don't know who he is.
Sam
he's
Smith?
A guy he just looks very different.
Who is Sam Smith?
He's an amazing singer.
Okay. I don't know Sam Smith. I didn't even know the guy at the Super Bowl yesterday. So that's how the world's passed me by like 10 years ago. So,
yes.
I'm
not trying to be crazy, but you asked me.
I'm
this
not trying. I don't want you to be crazy. That's why I'm here.
But
I want everybody to know that you're a regular guy. You're fun. You're very talented.
A prophet's never recognized in his own home. Not saying I am. And an intelligent man has no friends.
You're not saying you're a prophet?
Not saying I am either.
Of course. Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad you're saying you're not a prophet. very, very.
No, I'm just saying I believe in things. I will never push my beliefs.
You never push your beliefs. You sit there at this microphone and talk to your fan base, which you have, like
83 people.
Well, I know you've got a fan base, and it's a lot more than 83 people. It's more like, it's a lot, and you talk to them. So I don't know what my point was. Forget.
My point is that I do give them my opinion, though. Not all the time.
No, I know it's your opinion. I just don't want. I just want you to, you are. Yeah. Oh,
do you know? Does your son talk to you about this stuff?
My 9-year-old?
No.
I've got 5 sons. Which one are you talking about?
There was a son that was at the pod.
No, we don't talk about spiritualism and stuff.
This
like
isn't
that.
even spiritualism. This is just belief system. Do you know that he was talking to me?
What did he say?
He was digging it.
He's digging it because it's good for fucking clicks, not because crazy people are good for clicks. That's why he was digging it. He's a producer of a podcast. The crazier you are, the more he's digging it. That's why I got more clicks off of your fucking appearance than any other.
I didn't even talk about it. We talked about George Clooney. I didn't even say Satan. I'm just fascinated that you are so squirmy about it, dude. I'm reading your behavior.
Words that you mean sane? Is that? Can you use that word?
See,
I'm so sane about it.
That's just so rude. That's just
I'm just
rude.
acting sane.
Wait, all right, let me ask you this, because you're just saying I'm correct. You're a nut. That's like saying Randy Quaid's nuts. I've done 2 movies with Randy. He's not nuts.
I didn't say Randy Quaid was.
Well, people have said that. Him and his wife are great people.
People said I'm nuts.
Well,
My
yeah,
wife has said I'm nuts.
I would say you're nuts. What I'm saying is, why are you saying and I'm the nut? And it's okay. You can say whatever.
I didn't say you're a nut. I said that you're.
Forget the other people.
No, I'm not saying.
You can rock with me on what percentages of my beliefs. Be blunt.
With this conversation, I don't know what your beliefs are. So I believe that I don't understand what happened with JFK, and I believe I don't understand with 9/11. I don't believe that there's a little man that's living in the dirt halfway down in the earth.
I didn't say that.
Horn.
I just said that there's entities.
And what's an entity?
Meaning that, dude, let me tell you something.
All right.
That there could be spirits.
We could be talking about my fucking career. Instead, we're talking.
You went in down the road.
I'm joking.
You went down the fucking road.
This is much more interesting.
No, it's not. Your career is incredible. We could talk about Tombstone.
Oh, okay, let's talk about Tombstone.
Let's talk about Tombstone.
Okay.
What happened? That was one of the greatest performances ever on film.
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, that was very nice of you to say. Here's the thing about Tombstone is that
Satan.
I played Satan. I conjured up Satan. I knew that Johnny Ringo.
Do you know that?
I conjured up Satan. I said, "Come to me, Satan. Come to me, and I will show the world Johnny Ringo. Satan, please."
He's low-key summoning right there. Wait, so you did that. Let's talk about that movie because I'm sorry. You started this combo.
Okay.
When you did that movie, that was an insane movie. An incredible movie.
Yeah.
And to this day, it could be it's a timeless movie.
The thing about that movie, Jamie, is that you should know is that that movie was 140 pages long, 145 pages long. Okay. It was written by Kevin Jarre, and who wrote Glory. It was acted in Glory, and he wrote it, and he was going to direct it, and Kurt Russell got that thing put together with I'll think of his name in a second. Got the whole thing put together, and we went off to shoot it in Mescal, which is just south of Tucson, and we all lived in Tucson. It had an incredible cast because the script was so incredibly good. I got the script. And my agent, Ed L'Amato, was handling Mel, who was handling, that's how I know Mel. That's a little bit. And
the best Michelle in the
Pfeiffer
biz.
And what?
Ed was the best.
Yeah. So he sends me the script. And
he said, loved you.
He said he did love me.
Well, he
loved him. And
Friday night parties?
No. I mean,
but you know about
nothing
that.
you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
No, but I didn't see any.
No, of course.
No. I mean, and those were.
Let me explain to the audience who Ed was. Ed was one of our founding blocks of our business in terms of agents, so people understand. He was probably different than Mike Ovitz in different realm. He might have been before Mike.
He was.
But Mike was also, the cornerstone of our business.
Of course.
And Ed was a gay man who he represented mostly men.
Yeah.
Beautiful men who were movie stars, and he knew the value of it. He really was the last purveyor of what a movie star was. He had Mel, he had Denzel.
Yeah.
His roster is insane. Not one bum. All stars.
Yeah.
So that's an incredible agent to have, and God rest his soul. And I got to know his assistant, Richie. Back in the day.
He had a lot of them.
Yeah.
He used to call them 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
His assistants. But yeah, he was an incredible guy. And I could spend an hour talking to you about Ed L'Amato and my relationship with Ed L'Amato, which is, I believe I had a more special relationship with Ed L'Amato in his life than any of his clients. Now, maybe he made all his clients feel that way, but I just feel that we had something very. It goes like love.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him and he loved me.
Mm-hmm.
I got married. The second time I got married was in his house, But anyway, Ed, you want to talk about Tombstone or Ed?
I do, but how many times have you married?
3.
Do you know why you divorced?
Why?
Satan.
What?
Satan got you divorced. It's a joke, Mike. Easy. You're about to punch me right in the face.
I'm going to punch you in the face.
No, I want to talk about Tombstone. I was just giving you a compliment. Because he was a movie star agent.
Yeah, he was a movie star agent. So L'Amato gives me the script, and he said, Kurt Russell set, and they want to any character in the script other than Kurt Russell.
Really?
Yes, take a look at it.
Oh my gosh.
So I read it and I said, yeah, I want to play Doc Holliday. Because actors fucking know.
Yes.
They know. And I waited a couple of days and it got back to Ed and me that it looked like that was going to go to Val Kilmer was in any other role. So I went back and I read the script and I remember the line, I want your blood and I want your soul and I want them both right now. And I thought like, yeah, I don't think I'd like to say that. And so I signed on. I met Kevin and then, and we had a conversation and had lunch together and then I got offered the role. That movie was, we shot 4 weeks on that movie and then they fired Kevin Jarre. Andy Vanya, by the way, is the guy who really kind of put that movie together. Andy Vanya and Kurt, and then they fired the writer, and they brought in another director who was kind of a real visual guy. His name was George Cosmatos, and he had done Leviathan. He had done a couple of Stallone movies, and not a very elegant person, but had a visual style. And but Kurt had to look at that script and realize that 140 pages needed to be turned into 110 pages. So there's a lot of that script that we never shot.
Wow.
There's 30 pages of that script that we never shot. And as far as now, Kurt has talked about hollowing out his character to provide for other people in the movie, and he, I'm sure, believes that. Me being who I am, I'm one of the cowboys. I thought they were hollowing. My best speech in the movie was just gone, and it's okay. That was okay because Kurt had to do what he had to do. But I could pull it up on my phone and fucking do it for you. But I've done it before, so I won't do it again. But so and
the speech that you had, you never got to say.
Never got to. The best, when you read a script and you go like, oh, that's a good scene. It's the best fucking scene in the movie right here. This is after Curly Bill gets killed. Johnny Ringo takes over the group, the Cowboys, and he's like, let's go get the fucking herbs. But it's a speech, and it's a great speech.
Nomination speech.
Well,
did you get nominated?
Here's the thing that you need to know is when that movie came out, no critics liked it. Nobody liked it. A couple people said Val was okay in it. I read my reviews, okay? Because I like to know what people think. So I'm looking at the New York Times. I'm looking at Variety, Hollywood Reporter, New York, L.A. Times, San Francisco Chronicle. Like, every Siskel and Ebert. Nobody liked that movie. Nobody even mentioned my name. Nobody said, "Oh, Michael Biehn as Johnny Ringo was either." They just acted like, and still they. But
you were like third or fourth lead.
It depends on when you look at the movie. There, I think I was billed.
Kurt,
Val,
you.
I think I was billed third.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie came out, and to me, the heart of that movie is Val and my tension. We had something that Kurt was not available to him because, he had his shootout with Curly Bill or whatever. But for whatever reason, the way it was cut together, it's Val and I are sort of the heart. I feel, and I'm biased, so but anyway, so that movie comes out, Jamie, and nobody went to see it. Nobody went to see it. It didn't get good reviews, and it was devastating to a lot of people. I know Powers went on a binge after
Powers Booth,
mm-hmm. Yeah, who did the whole movie and used to just sip on beers and but I know that I called him after, and I had to go over there and talk to him and it was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. And but he is a wonderful, wonderful human being, but he was really hurt by the way that so nobody paid any attention to that movie. And then of course Kevin Costner had his movie that came out later that nobody paid attention to that one either. But over a 30-year period of time since that movie has been made, people start watching it. Goes on one television station, then it's on then it's on 5 television stations. People watch it over and over and over and over. Now people are saying it's the best Western, along with Unforgiven, of our generation.
It's revered.
And that is what happened with Tombstone. And people, and I've said this before, I said it on Michael Rosenbaum's thing. People ask, I get like, did Kurt Russell direct it? He's responsible for the whole fucking thing. If it wasn't for Kurt, the movie wouldn't have gotten made. The cuts that needed to be made to make the movie that we eventually saw wouldn't have happened without Kurt making the decisions that he did. Did he direct it? Directing is, pre-production. He didn't do any pre-production. He didn't do any location stuff. And after he finished the movie, he didn't go into editing. He didn't edit the movie. It was edited by another fellow, and he went on. And I've said this before. I'm talking the same thing I said on Rosenbaum's show. He went on to do Stargate, and immediately, because I went to visit him on the set of Stargate, and with Powers, and we went to see him, and then, but when that movie came out. How does that happen? But that happens all the time in movies, that people that are looking at the movies, the reviewers, they don't know it. They don't get it. And they don't, you know
what it has to do with?
The devil.
I was going to say that. Satan poisons their minds and poisons their pens. No, it has to do with eruditeness, and they're not out there. The people don't understand. Like, I'm a part of a franchise called Tremors. And
I know Tremors.
Yeah, there was 7. Yeah. It came out in 1990.
Were you in the first one?
No,
okay.
I was in like some of the direct sequels, which are very good movies.
Yeah. Wasn't Gail Hurd? Didn't Gail produce those?
Maybe
she
did the first
one for sure.
But not,
she wasn't involved with those?
No, the other ones, no.
Okay.
I'm sure she got a cut, but I consider that when you say Tremors, that's the first thing you think of, right? If you say the word tremor. So it made a mark because people discovered it. You know what I'm saying? It's I have definitely a few movies like that. And it's like, Enemy of the State. It did good when it came out, but now people talk about it as like, oh my God, the surveillance and all this stuff. So things happen. But Tombstone is one of those things that it literally is like, just people love.
And here's the thing about...
Was Terminator well received? It was well received when it came out, correct?
It was well received, but Orion didn't understand really what they had, and so they didn't put it in more theaters. And this is the way that I understand it. That movie came out, it made... Now you
I think it made $50 million.
A little bit less, but yeah.
Which is huge.
On a $6 million budget, but the same year Karate Kid 2 came out, and our Karate Kid, like other...
Yes.
It wasn't... Here's the thing about the Terminator.
God, what a year.
Here's the thing.
What a year for movies.
Listen, the Terminator came out. It was not in the top 20 movies in 1984 as far as box office. Came in 23rd, okay, box office-wise. Tombstone came in like 70th. When it came out. So Tombstone, I mean, nobody thought Arnold Schwarzenegger was going to be a movie. Nobody, Arnold Schwarzenegger, we're going to go see Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not like going to see Al Pacino. It's not like going to see a Dustin Hoffman movie. We're going to go see Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, we know what we're going to get. No, you didn't, because you didn't know anything about Jim Cameron. And, it was kind of a slow burn. I didn't, and Arnold ended up sort of, it gave Arnold the opportunity to then go on and make other films and
billion films,
everything, yeah, and he deserves it. I mean, nobody the where he started in his life to where he is now,
incredible.
Is the most astonishing story of a human being, and from movies, from like a Nazi son in Bavaria or wherever he's from.
Is that confirmed?
Oh, his dad was Nazi. Yeah, I mean they're all Nazis back then, but I believe, you know what, Arnold, if I'm making a mistake, but I think that I've heard. I think Arnold's talked about it. And from there, Austria, in some little tiny little fucking town, to coming over to and being a weightlifter, and becoming Mr. Universe, and then like turning around and going like, I'm going to be a movie star, even though I don't speak the fucking language properly. Came over to L.A., got a bunch of roles. All of a sudden, then does the Terminator. Then goes, you know what, I'll go into politics. If he hadn't been from Austria, he would have been the president of the United States. There's no 100%. Doubt in my mind. Yeah.
1 in a billion.
Yeah.
He's a 1 in a billion.
I know.
Amazing.
Amazing.
And what an incredible... No, he's incredible. What a hero. He's a hero. I will say, though, you probably think more like him. He got a little wokey lately. I hate to say that.
Are you calling me woke?
I don't know if you're woke.
What have I said that was woke today?
I don't know if you're woke.
Well, why would they? But you just compare. First of all, you said he's gotten a little woke.
Got a little
bit more like I am. So what you just said was that I was woke. So come on.
I don't know where you are, but you do a thing where you
ask me questions about stuff, and I can just say yes and no.
Okay. Do you like who we have as our current president?
No.
Would you have liked it if it was Kamala?
I don't know. I'm not. No, I don't know.
Do you think Biden shits his pants?
Biden what?
Shits his pants.
I've shit my pants in the last 2 years.
Okay, but do you think Biden shits his pants?
I think we all shit our pants.
All right. But do you think he shits his pants more than you shit your pants?
He's fucking 80.
Okay,
yeah,
so does that person have the fucking code? Should he be carrying around the nuclear football?
No.
That's all.
Okay. What else?
I don't know. I think we're probably more aligned than you realize. I'm not super political, but the minute you say what used to be before you said anything positive about Trump, you were like this right-winger nut. And so I was like, that's not true. And Arnold was a Republican, and he was a figurehead of California. And before that, it was Ronald Reagan, and it was all by Hollywood because Lou Wasserman was his agent, and he was the governor. And Lou Wasserman said, SAG, governor, president. Okay. So Arnold went in that same realm. He could not be president because he wasn't born. Yeah. And he was a Republican, and then the minute fucking... the jab came out and Trump came out, he flipped, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? You're the hero, bro. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't go, I'm in a place
but I love
when politics comes up in a conversation. My father, who was a smart man, a very smart and kind man, said, it doesn't do any good to talk about politics or religion. You're just not going to get anywhere when it comes to that. And I'm not going to change your mind.
I'm open-minded.
No, so am I. But I don't think you're going to change my mind about what I think of our current president. I'm not, whatever. It is what it is. More people voted for him than Kamala Harris, so he should be president. So let's see how he does. And I'm not. It is what it is. I'm not going to be De Niro, but I don't think there's anything wrong with Robert De Niro speaking passionately about the way that he feels about the guy. There are a lot of people. I don't want to throw Robert Patrick under the bus, but I don't think Robert would care. That I was on a plane with him once. He's like, De Niro. He's like, this guy's a president, and he's like, I really don't dig this. And I'm like, well, he's got a right to say how he feels.
Oh, Robert,
like we all do.
I love that Robert said that.
Yeah, well, Robert's
probably more like me.
Well, he is like you, and he's
and
he's
smoking
a little bit more like
cigars.
A little bit more like John Voight. And
yes,
and he's
John Voight is the top 5 actor of all time.
I love John Voight,
and John Voight is the greatest guy. I've done 3 movies with him
over and over.
Let me tell you something about John Voight.
Okay.
He's 85 years old.
Okay.
He's the first to get on a set. He's the last to leave. He'll rehearse until it's right. He fucking is the most giving actor you'll ever work with, and he'll carry equipment. I've done 2 low budget movies with with him. He literally carries a lighting stand. He's incredible. What he believes is what he believes. I believe a lot of what he believes. I don't believe certain things, but that's okay.
Yeah, and I don't care.
And anyone that says anything different, I will fight them.
And Clint Eastwood's the same way.
Clint's a legend.
Of course he's a legend.
Okay.
You know, so nobody...
I love that Robert's like that.
I don't believe that anybody in Hollywood looks at Clint Eastwood or looks at you or looks at anybody else.
Well, apparently I'm a kook. I'm going to have Clint on here to talk about what? Satan.
Rawhide?
Well, you know what I like, though, is that I thought you were probably a wild lib because you get so animated about certain things that you don't like, but you're not. Maybe you're not a wild lib. And then what I mean by that is, here's what a wild lib is. Okay. A wild lib is Berkeley. It's just a good example. When you go up there, they took away the word manhole because you can't say it. It was a people hole cover. That's insanity.
Some people.
That's insane.
Some people would call it progress. You know.
Come on, dude.
Listen,
dude. Just go. It's fucking kooks.
Who's
That's crazier than Satan.
Who's screaming?
That is me.
Who's screaming now?
I am. I'm lost it. I'm a fucking nut now because I want you to go. That's fucking crazy. Shit on that belief.
Who cares?
Oh God.
You care?
Shit all over the Satan fighters, but you won't shit on a Berkeley manhole cover fighter. Progression. We have more fucking problems in this world to worry about a gosh darn manhole name. Do you agree with that?
Say what?
A gosh darn manhole cover.
What about a manhole cover?
They changed it and called it people hole.
Who did?
Berkeley.
Okay, Berkeley.
That's
but
retarded.
What do you call it? What do you call it? First of all, I've never heard it. I call it a manhole, and everybody else in the world calls it a manhole.
Racist.
You're too much.
See, the thing
I don't think that most people that are liberals. Here, listen. I've been in Hollywood for 50 years. Okay.
Yes.
And so you can kind of imagine what my politics might be. Okay. You might
probably very similar.
Well, I will probably.
I think do whatever you want in your personal life.
But when you
don't fuck with my money.
Take an example like manhole, and they want to call
because the loony liberals.
How loony? Who's the loony liberal? Name them. Who's the loony liberals? Name them. Don't just call them. Not anyone. Name them.
Finish. West of Doheny, pretty much. There's a ton of actors that are fucking fake ass liberals. And what I mean by that is I know that they're little dirtbags in their life. They like they're called limousine liberals. They like all the perks, but then they act like they're for the people, but they're not. People talking about the homelessness in downtown LA have never fucking been there. People talking about the border at Eagle Pass, they've never fucking been there. People knowing anything, people getting mad at this USAID have no fucking idea what they're talking about. And I'm not even a politician. Dude, we were giving something like $40 million for some weird ass play in fucking Saudi Arabia that had nothing to do with anything.
Listen, I heard Joe Rogan recently has basically, I listened to him talk about the waste in spending. Okay?
100%.
He's got a guest on. Okay, the guest said to him, "Yes, you're right." And said, this has been going on for 50 years.
Not good.
This is not good. No, it's not good. But it didn't start with, it started a long time ago. You know, when I was a child.
We want to get rid of it.
Well, listen, how about this? Try this one on. And when you were making lots and lots of money, maybe more than you are now. I don't know what your portfolio looks like. But when I was a child, anybody who was making over $100,000 paid 90% in taxes.
No.
Yes.
Yes,
way. They did.
No way. Fact check that in the comments.
Okay.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
back
in the early 60s.
No,
yes.
I don't believe that.
Okay, well, you're wrong.
I don't believe that. So you get $10,000?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No fucking way.
Okay.
If that's true, then I'm an idiot, and I will go on your show, and I will talk about how Satan doesn't exist. No fucking way.
Okay.
No fucking way.
Look, you can fucking look it up in the phone right now if you wanted to. You
way.
Fucking look.
What do you want me to look up?
Tax rates in the 60s.
Okay, tax rates in the 60s. Tax rates in the
early 1960s.
60s. Okay. Tax rate in the 1960s. Okay. Historical tax rates. Okay. Federal income tax. Okay. 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 Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over 100,000.
100,000. Let's just say 100,000
and up. You making that face like, fuck, you're right, Michael.
Okay, I'm not going to denounce Satan, though. I mean, I will, but not. I think no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way.
Wow. Way.
Most pod people have a fact checker, so you just. How is this? How can you live? So if you made 400,000
you get
in 1960, no, you get 84.35% is tax. What? 400,000 in the other year.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
What?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. I think the people who are making that kind of money and millions and billions of dollars, instead of knowing all the tax breaks and stuff, should pay that.
The best, I had a good year where I made a few M's. And my best.
In 1 year?
Yeah.
A few M's in 1 year?
Mm-hmm. I was very fortunate.
That is a good year.
And I always wrote it that I was going to get half of it. And I got a little less than half of it, and that
because
was considered
of agents
a win. But the team, the taxes, and all, and they always played the game of, well, we're a write-off. You know that bullshit. But
well, I know.
But when I always see someone getting $20 million a movie, I go, well, they'll keep 10.
Yeah. And
that's still amazing.
Yeah.
If you get paid over scale for a movie, it's amazing. So that's insanity. You're telling me if Arnold was in the 60s making $20 million a movie, he'd get 2?
Well, whatever.
That's insane. On top of agent, that's insanity. How is that even real? I'm wrong. You're completely right. And you've just completely rocked my world. How could that even be?
Oh, good. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn you around on the whole Satan.
Wait. And you want me to join your cult because that's what you're doing. You're secretly.
I don't have a group.
You're like Satan, so you get so mad because you're hiding the fact that you enjoy Satan, and then you want me to join it. It's a reverse psychology.
The cliff. Yes.
So wait a minute.
I'm trying to pull you back from.
How the fuck could that even exist? Here's one thing I did know.
I was alive then, so I know stuff you don't know.
I have to ask you this. I do know that people talk shit about, oh my God, my fucking rate for my house was 7.5%. Okay, whatever. And I remember in the 80s, it was 14.2%. But your mortgage was $112 a month. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people have a point now that the rate does not, it wasn't as high as it was, but people were making less and all this stuff. But I don't understand how that works. I don't understand if that's real. I'm believing it, but it's on the internet. I need somebody to fact check me, but that's insanity. How could they do that? How did you live?
That was after World War II. That's how our economy. That was before we were borrowing billions and billions and billions of dollars. That's the way that our government worked back then. Is they taxed people that made millions and millions and millions of dollars, and reallocated that money to people who were poor, who didn't have health care, who didn't have, I was born in the Jim Crow South.
Okay.
I was born in the Jim Crow South. People don't realize how racist our country was right up, like when I was black people couldn't swim in the same swimming pool. They couldn't go to restaurants. They couldn't, Sammy Davis Jr. couldn't stay in the same hotels. The whole, that's where I come from. I'm older than you, man. Like I said, I'm 70 or almost.
68.
And, tax rates used to be different. And, I think we've come a long ways in a lot of ways. So I'm looking at a lot of things in a positive way. So when somebody says something about like somebody says something about, what did you say the thing in the ground is? The manhole?
Manhole.
They want to call it a person hole.
People hole.
You know what? Who cares? That's got nothing to do with the fact that I think that actually what I believe right now is America is on a downhill sort of slide, and there's no recovery from it. I don't think that America's going to recover. And I just saw Bernie Sanders either talking.
I liked Bernie. He's a little bit of a hypocrite, but I liked him.
Well, listen to what he said over the last 24 hours. And Bernie Sanders is the guy that I didn't vote for Bernie Sanders, but I certainly think that guy is so much more knowledgeable than me, and he's got a point of view about what's going on with this country that is, sad.
He was basically saying if we take away USAID, we're fucking up a lot of programs.
Just look at what he said in the last 24 hours, okay? Because that's not what he said. He was talking about oligarchies and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
Okay. And you know, I mean...
Oligarchy means what? Tech titans own the world. It's Russia.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Listen, I'm a big believer in Elon. Okay. I can't co-sign the salute or whatever he did. Hopefully it was just Asperger's.
It was that was a Nazi salute. Anybody who listen, so anybody can get caught doing this. Anybody can get caught doing this.
Okay.
Nobody, and I mean no fucking buddy does this and that. Nobody fucking does that. Right?
I mean,
fuck that shit, man. That's what he fucking did. Was that not a Nazi salute? Are you telling me that was not a Nazi salute? Come on, man. Oh, I like Elon Musk. I like him.
Listen,
I like him.
I don't like that. I don't want to believe that was. I don't want to believe that was.
Do you believe it was, though? What is this?
The way you're doing it is not painting a very...
That's the way he did it. He did this. If he had done this, if he had just done this, that's one thing. But this and this, and read all his tweets and stuff like that. I don't read them, but I hear that like some of that stuff is kind of rolling around the guy.
Okay, listen.
Listen, when Bill Burr starts shitting on the guy, you know that there's problems.
Listen, I love Bill. I love Bill.
So do I.
So, but listen, can we just say, how can I say this? Because I don't want to co-sign. Obviously, I don't want to co-sign that if it was that.
Oh, good.
And you make a very good argument. But, you know, can you disregard all of the things that this man has given on our society, from Starlink to Tesla to all the innovations, and that he's making society...
Power corrupts.
PayPal.
Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts.
So what
absolute.
do you want? You want everybody to have a fucking $50 day doll?
No, I don't want any of
and
this.
fucking polka dots. Of course,
I
we
don't want
want
any of that. Okay,
I don't want that either.
All right. Well, you asked me what I wanted. That's what I don't want. Okay?
I don't want that either.
All right. Well, you're the one who's like saying I like the guy
Because I can't. Because it's not confirmed. But yes, it doesn't look good the way you do it. The way you do it is
That's
not
the way
good.
he did it.
I know, but they're saying.
I know,
but also people say it was like my heart. My heart, like a Care Bear shot. But I agree. Okay. It could be some symbolism. I agree with you. I don't want that shit. I do not want that shit. But I do think that him buying, I don't know how this is going to go over with you, him buying Twitter was a good thing because he allows a lot of people to say things before they weren't able to put on
give
Twitter.
a fuck about Twitter and him.
Okay, let's go back to oligarchy and all that, because I don't want to. Oligarchies just mean a few rich control us?
Yeah, like Russia.
I don't know. I do believe that we're heading to a technocratic
So
state.
do I.
And you're part of it.
I am a part of it.
You fucking 100% are, and you're the base of it, whether you believe it's a movie or not. So, but I don't think it's something we can escape, but you'd have to have your own little place in it and be able to go away.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a 9-year-old son.
Yes. He knows what's up. He's smarter than all of us.
He's pretty damn smart.
Yes,
man.
he's smarter than all of us. And all I want to say is, I understand what Bernie's saying, but Bernie's not Bernie took money from Big Pharma. Bernie's not exactly a saint either. But why am I not freaked out about it? But maybe, I don't know. I'm not into that shit. I'm not into that shit. And that's the way you did that was very convincing. So the question is,
I did it like he did it.
What about liberals? What about liberals who still drive a Tesla then? They got to give their Tesla back if that's what they really believe.
They can do whatever they want. Whether you're a liberal or conservative, do whatever you want. It's a free country. It's always been a free country. Do whatever you want. Don't hurt other people.
Yes.
Don't hurt other people. Don't hurt other people.
That's it.
You know, and have a good life.
That's
enjoy
what I'm
your
saying.
life. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your travels. Enjoy your job. Enjoy things to the best of your ability.
Do unto others as you want done.
Exactly.
Unto yourself.
I would. That's the way I live my life. I try to.
Mm-hmm.
I try to. Mm-hmm. And when I see a person I think that's going down the rabbit hole, I want to help. That's all.
All I can say.
I just don't ever want to see this from you. Okay, that's.
Do you think? Oh my God! Do you think me talking about that leads to that?
No.
Yeet.
No.
Yeet.
I said no.
Wow.
I said no. I said no.
But you're
Jamie.
also talking to a guy that doesn't think that that's what it was. I would hope to God it's not what it was. But you listen. You make a very compelling argument. Okay, but
it's not me. I didn't make any argument. He.
But they also say it was Asperger's. And it was.
Oh, yeah. That's what they said about Hitler.
Hitler had Asperger's?
Yeah. You didn't know that? Fuck yeah.
They said that. No, here's what I want to say, though. We got to quit labeling everybody.
You know.
It's not great.
No, not great. No, it's not only not great, it's insanely horrible. It's actually what it represents.
Obviously.
You want to talk about evil?
Of course.
You want to talk about evil?
Of course.
Talk about fucking Germany in the
course.
1930s.
Of course.
That's evil.
Before you sat here, by the way, my last guest was Jewish, so I'm just saying.
My son is Jewish.
How? Are you a Jew?
No, Jennifer is.
Okay. It's easy to do then because he came out, the mother's Jewish.
I know. So now I got to protect him from fucking Mein Kampf.
Okay. All right. I understand.
All right.
I get it. This was an interesting podcast.
Good. Are we done?
We can be because I don't want to take too much of your time.
I think we should be. I'm getting a little worked up. I get a little worked up when I see somebody doing the fucking Nazi.
This is what I love about you. Oh. That's what I want. I want that.
Okay.
Not that, but yeah, I get it. Listen, the world is going to be okay.
Not if AI's got anything to do with it.
Well, then we can't stop it.
No, we're not going to be able to.
And even though you and I may not believe on certain things, I still think that we like each other. Like
of course we like
each
other.
You.
I like you too.
I like
John Voight. I would love Clint Eastwood. I met Clint Eastwood once.
You should love Clint.
I love him. You know,
you should love them.
I do.
Even if they fucking robbed banks, you should still love them just for fucking Midnight Cowboy.
Wouldn't Christ love like the sinner?
Yes, he would.
Right. So isn't that what we should be putting out there?
And you know who else loves you?
Satan.
And he wants to show you something. Right over here.
Got some porn over here.
You're amazing. Thank you for your time. Listen, will you have he's an amazing podcast, which apparently me talking crazy got the most clicks on, but that's his son doesn't believe anything that we talked about in the yard while you were fucking going again dealing with your car. You have a lot of car issues. And your son said how he likes my podcast. Your podcast is called Just
Fooling About, which is a line from Tombstone when whoever he plays in the fucking movie comes out. He says, "I'll be your Huckleberry." I'm like, "My fight's not with you." And he says, "I beg to differ. I got this and that." And I said, "I was just fooling about." So that's where the name of the podcast is from. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. My son produces it. He used to produce for Adam.
He's awesome.
So yeah.
It's in your garage. The air conditioning.
Not my garage.
The air conditioning has a little bit of an issue, but that's okay.
That was a
and I fucking sat through it.
You did.
Because I respect the fuck out of you.
You did.
I was in there like fucking Gunga Din, sweating my balls off.
So was I.
It's a deep cut reference. And so, what's your next con? Do you know where you're going? I just got my list today.
I don't know.
All right,
they just lead me around by the nose.
But
usually I walk behind Linda Hamilton and pick up all the money that she drops.
Yeah. I have to talk to Linda again. We did a Sci-Fi Channel movie together, and I, to this day, don't think she likes me. That's going to be another pod.
Well, why wouldn't she like you?
Because she had
Does she kiss you on the lips?
Yeah, right on the lips.
Yeah, well.
I wasn't mad about that.
You weren't mad about that?
No, meaning I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
She's like, "Good morning."
I actually got to, go, well, in the movie.
Oh, I didn't know if it was offset.
No.
Okay.
So we were both married, but
that stopped a lot of people.
it doesn't, and it hasn't stopped me in the past, believe me. But
Okay.
at that time in my life, I was young. I'd been faithful to my wife.
God bless
She
you.
was she was married. She was faithful to her husband. But believe me, I was very, very attracted to her. I've said before in interviews that I've done that I fell in love with her. Just fell in love with her. She's funny. She's fun. She's treats everybody the same. She's.
It came across like if when you were talking to her and you had that moment right before you guys had sex, it came across like that was like I was 100% in. Like I believe it, and to this day, 42 years later, I still believe it. Like the chemistry comes off of the TV.
Yeah.
So you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
I'll see you on
We'll go to-
just fooling about here in 6 months. Okay?
Fooling about, watch them, and we'll go to Casa Vega. I guess I owe you.
Okay.
Love you, buddy.